Hello, this is Isabel, and I'm here with the Between Classes podcast. Today we have Kate Stock joining us, who's going to kind of tell us how students can get involved here in Brookings. So Kate, you want to tell us a little bit about your position here at SDSU and what you do?
Thanks for having me. So I'm Kate Stock, and I work in the Office of Student Activities over in the Student Union. We are located in the Center for Student Engagement, and I oversee the student organization recognition process. So student orgs that want to become officially recognized come through our office. Right now we have over 240 student orgs and counting, because we'll be adding some new ones this semester. I also oversee program advisors who work with our university traditions, so that's Hobo Day and State-a-thon. The program advisor that oversees our Greek life community, and that is 12 chapters, 4 women's and 8 men's, and the University Program Council as well too. So that's the primary programming board for the university.
Good. So as students are, coming back to campus here this fall, a lot of them are looking to get involved and see just where they fit in to really make this place feel like home. What are some of their options for them to find out what is all here for them? Where can they go?
Sure. There are a ton of ways to find different opportunities, and it's all about kind of where you look and who you ask. But I'd say the primary place to start is Jack's Club Hub, and that is the student portal we use to house all of our student orgs. And so it gives a list of everybody who's recognized, what events that they're having, their membership, what they're all about, how to get involved with them. So that's a really good place to start. If you're thinking about joining a student organization, I would start there. But student involvement isn't really just limited to student orgs, and so there are a lot of other ways to get involved on campus, and so I'll talk about a few of those. One being on-campus employment and jobs and things like that, and that is a way of involvement depending on what you're getting into as far as a job. You might be working with an academic department, so that's going to be related to your major, or you might be working with a group on campus that does service for other entities on campus, or you might have a job that is sharing your love for SDSU. So maybe you're an admissions ambassador or a community assistant in a residence hall, orientation leader, something like that. There are a lot of volunteering opportunities on campus and in the community of Brookings as well. So if that's sort of your interest or passion, just sort of doing a quick Google search or even stopping by our office, we have a lot of ties to the community and how to get involved with volunteering. I think there's options for study abroad. I know a lot of first-year students, maybe you're not going to take that opportunity right away, but just starting to look into the process of where you might want to go and what you can do when you are abroad might open up some doors for you as well. And then I think another big thing is just attending events. So even if you don't join an organization right away, maybe you go to the wellness center and do a couple fitness classes, or maybe you go to an athletic event. Maybe you try going to a play or a music performance. Maybe you go to a common read event, Hobo Week, Hobo Day, those sorts of things. So just going and trying different things out to see what you might be interested in, and then maybe seeing if there's an organization tied to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when a lot of people or students think about getting involved, they think about a student org. But no matter if it's a job, if it's studying abroad, if it is a student organization, they're going to get something out of each one of those that's going to benefit their future, even this year, but even once they're gone from SDSU.
Definitely. Yeah. So don't limit your options to just thinking you have to join up with an organization. I'd say go and see and ask questions, talk to your CA, your roommate, your classmates, your teachers. Come see us in the Office of Student Activities. We've got lots of knowledge about those things.
So if someone wanted to log in to Jack's Club Hub, is it just use their email?
So you use your single sign-on username and password, your MyState username and password. So it's just jacksclubhub.sdstate.edu, and you can get right in there as a student.
Yeah, and that has all the information for, when those clubs meet, what events they're having, what kind of members can join.
Yep, it's got all of the officially recognized student orgs, and we've got, like I said, over 240, and they range from our programming groups, so those that plan events for other students, to student government, so our Students Association, if you were in student council in high school, it's similar to that, but you get to work with a lot of different students. They're a department organization, so a lot of times related to your major. So getting specific skills and information there. Cultural organizations, special interest, Greek life, like I said. So just a ton of different ways to get involved.
Something for everyone.
Something for everybody.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So if someone is looking to get involved and there is all these options, how do they narrow it down to what's right for them? What are some of the things they should maybe ask themselves?
Sure. So I think if you're looking to get involved or looking to see what you might want to do while you're a student here, don't really limit yourself to maybe what you've always done or only what you did in high school. I think definitely look at what your interests were and what you did and determine if that's something you want to continue to do. But maybe you've got some new interests or passions you haven't explored yet. And so just sort of opening your mind up to opportunities that maybe you didn't know existed before is really a good start. I think considering what your classes are and what you're majoring in is important as well too. Because that might lead you to some involvement opportunities outside of the classroom that could then benefit you inside the classroom when you're having discussions or writing assignments, things like that. And then also definitely look at your schedule and what you already have on your plate so that you can make sure that you can manage your time to the best of your ability. I think getting involved is a really good way to kind of enhance your time in the classroom, but it can also provide sort of a social break away from the classroom as well too.
So then when students find that club that is right for them and they're like, I want to be involved in that, what would be their best approach to reach out, to attend an event? How would they find out how they should get involved?
Yep. So if you're looking at Jack's Club Hub and you see a student organization you're interested in, I think the best way to find out more is to check out their page on Jack's Club Hub. It does list out the primary contacts, president, roster information as well too, so you can reach out and get a hold of fellow students who are involved in that. All of our clubs also have an on-campus faculty or staff advisor that you can reach out to for information, and a lot of times they'll post right on their Jack's Club Hub page when their meetings are. And so if you just want to attend a meeting to check it out without making a formal commitment, that's a really good way to do it as well. And as always, you can stop in the Office of Student Activities to ask us these questions too.
Yeah, kind of get their foot in the door just to see if it's right for them before they commit to anything. Yeah. So then are there requirements to getting involved in some of these different things, and how would they find out what those requirements are?
Kind of the same thing. So it's going to definitely depend on the club if you would have any sort of formal commitment process or any sort of like club dues that might go toward anything that you would get out of being a part of it. So if you're thinking about Greek life, they've got different recruitment dates and rules and things like that they have to follow. So just getting in touch with the advisor or the group that you're interested in and just asking, how do I get involved and what are the expectations for involvement here? Whereas some of our groups who are just special interests, they might just have meetings and they might just be more about sharing interests and ideas and might not have a lot of expectations for what you need to do before you can join. So
there's something for every schedule out there, every time commitment.
Schedule. Yeah, you bet. Yep.
We kind of talked about this earlier, but if a student, looks at their major and says, I want to get involved with something with my major, do they have to limit themselves to only something that is related to their major, or can they look at the other options too?
They can look at any options that they want. So I think a lot of times faculty and staff who oversee these clubs and organizations that are tied to majors would generally really encourage students, if you're in that major, yes, please check out our club, because a lot of times you might travel to different places around the state or around the region that are doing the very thing that you might want to do. And so you might get to sort of see firsthand what's happening. They might bring in guest speakers, industry professionals, things like that, to kind of get you more information about what you might be doing later on. So I'd say definitely check out something related to what you want to do, but don't limit yourself to just that, because you never know what else you could find just by stumbling into another meeting and seeing what it's all about.
If someone doesn't find that organization that they were looking to get involved with, can they start their own organization, and what is that process like?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is something my office overseas, and throughout the semester we get anywhere from 5 to 10 new organizations. So Last year, I think we added 14 between the fall and spring semester. So that's pretty exciting for us. So if you're looking through that list on Jack's Club Hub and you're just not finding the right niche for yourself, or you don't know if we have it, I'd say your first step is just stopping into our office and chatting. Just say, do you know if there's an organization like this out there? And if not, could I start one? And our answer will be, yeah, you can, and let us help you with that. And so the process is a little bit involved, but we help you every step of the way. So there's an application. Basically, you just need to tell us the name of your organization and sort of what its purpose and mission is. So why do you want to have this organization started at South Dakota State, and what will it do for you and the other students who might be a part of it? Then you also have to have just 6 other members, so a total of 7 members who are students, as well as either a faculty or staff advisor. So you've got your interest group. You submit your application to us, and then we sort of help you along with the process of writing a constitution, preparing to meet with Students Association. And so that's that student government I was talking about earlier, where they would ask you questions about your group and sort of have the approval over whether or not you would become officially recognized. So just a couple of steps along the way, but we are there to help you with that. And we get about 10 new ones each year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, for those students, it really shows their initiative to get involved, and it can look great on a resume later.
Yeah, starting a club is definitely a skill builder.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So then, is it ever too late for someone to join a club or get involved? I mean, freshmen probably are looking at it the most, but say down the line you see a club that you're like, oh, I wish I would have gotten involved with that earlier, but is it ever too late for them to get involved?
Sure. I don't think so. As a student at SDSU, I don't think it's ever too late to say, gosh, I wish I would have gotten more involved. Well, hey, come on in. We'll tell you how you can. Or just reach out to your friends. What are they doing? Classmates, faculty, staff, that sort of thing, and see what they have done. And I think a lot of times for a freshman, it can get maybe intimidating, or you don't quite know right away your first or second semester what you can put on your plate in addition to academics and maybe other obligations that you may have with family or jobs back home, things like that. It's all balanced. And so a lot of times I think our sophomore and junior status students will come in and want to get really involved with things after they've sort of gone through a year. Maybe they've dipped their toe in and been a member, but now I want to be an officer of an organization, or now I want to plan events and things like that. So not too late.
I didn't have it all figured out freshman year. I switched my major junior year, and there was other things I wanted to get involved with. So you don't have to have it all figured out right away.
That is right. That's right.
So is there anything else you'd like to add for students that they should know about getting involved, or just maybe some advice for their first year here?
Yeah, so I kind of talked about a lot of it, but just really not limiting yourself to what you think you already know about yourself. I think this is an opportunity to learn a lot more about what interests you do have. A lot of times, high schools don't have nearly as many opportunities as maybe you might find here. And so just really opening your mind and saying, I was involved in this, I want to check that out, but hey, maybe there's something else. There are a lot of benefits of being an involved student at SDSU. Definitely skill builders, resume builders, that's going to be really important. You can enhance and supplement your time in the classroom because you can bring outside experience, but it's also a really good way to connect yourself to new experiences, but also connect yourself to new people and places and ideas, which is really one of the most important things I think you can do here. So just knowing what you're interested, but being open to finding new possibilities as well.
Great advice. I think we would both advise everyone to try something new, to get involved, because it'll really enhance their time here at SDSU. Okay, so there's the 2 ending questions that I have for you that I ask each of our guests is, what is your favorite thing about SDSU?
It's hard to name just one favorite thing. A little bit of background, I've been a staff member here since 2006, so I'm working on year 13. And so I think my favorite thing is just having had the opportunity to work with so many different departments and programs and things that benefit students here. So I've been a part of the admissions team, the orientation team. I work with the Common Read. I've worked with Lead State and Meet State. And now student activities. And so it's been something new and different every day, new students all the time. And so that's just a really cool thing about this place, if you work here, is getting the opportunity to do things outside of your general job description, I think.
Absolutely. I feel that in my job too. I've never done a podcast, and here I am.
You are. Me neither.
So then that last question is, what's your favorite thing about Brookings?
That is a tough one to answer with just one thing as well, too. So I think Brookings, a lot of times my answer for this would be, I've been here 13 years now, and it's just it's a good community to be in. It's clean and safe, and people are nice, and the community loves the university and vice versa. And so it's really cool just to be a part of that atmosphere. So even when you leave campus, you still know you've got support for the university. When you're on campus, you still feel like you're a part of the community. And I think that's probably one of the most special things about Brookings, the people and just how you feel when you're here.
Yeah, I can absolutely attest to that. As a student, I feel that connection, whether I'm on campus or off campus, that they really value, the students and the staff here at SDSU. Yeah, well, thank you, Kate, for being on our podcast today. I hope students got a lot of information out of how they can get involved this year from you being here, and we look forward to see all the things that these organizations are planning throughout the year.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and come see us in the Office of Student Activities.